Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Instrumentation and Control. Today's our topic is the state transition matrix in the unit number 2, continuous time state space system to the discrete time state space analysis. In the last lesson, we will find the value of Zi minus Z inverse. Now, whenever we find the value of state transition matrix, we have two methods. The evolution of the state transition matrix is known as the phi of k. So we can always follow these two methods to find out the value of phi of k. The first one is the Cayley-Hamilton theorem, and second one is the using the Z transformation method. So we will study the find of the state transition matrix phi of k using these two methods one by one. So first of all, what is the Cayley-Hamilton theorem? So this theorem says that every square matrix satisfies its characteristic equation. Okay, so what is the characteristic equation of the square matrix? So the characteristic equation of the A is lambda n plus an minus 1 lambda raised to n minus 1 plus up to a1 lambda plus a0 that is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the general characteristic equation of the every square matrix. So if we deal with the state space analysis, we will deal with the square matrix. So the square matrix satisfies this characteristic equation. Okay, now any function of a that is equal to b0i plus b1a plus b2a square plus up to bn minus 1 a raised to n minus 1. Okay, so if we can find the value of function of a, we will know about the value of b0, b1, b2, and the value of the A matrix is given in this example or this plan or this system. So roots of this particular equation is mod of lambda I minus a that is equal to 0 for any eigenvalue. Okay, so first of all, we have to find the roots of this particular matrix, and then we have to find or we have to apply the Cayley-Hamilton theorem to find out the value of phi of k. Okay, let's take some example. So example is given. In this example, 2 cross 2 matrix is given. So A is equal to 1, 2, 0, 2, and we have to find the value of a raised to 100. Okay, now how we have to find the value of a raised to 100? So our first step is we have to find the roots of this particular matrix. And what is the equation of to find out the root? That is mod of lambda I minus a. Now what is the lambda into I? So I is the matrix 1 0 0 1, and then we have to multiply the lambda to the I matrix. We can get lambda 0 0 lambda minus the A matrix that is equal to 1 2 0 2. So we have to simply subtract these two matrices and we can get lambda minus 1 0 minus 2 that is equal to minus 2 0 minus 0 that is equal to 0 and lambda minus 2. Now simplify this mode, we can get lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 2 minus 0 into minus 2. We can get lambda minus 1 lambda minus 2. Now we have to find the value of lambda 1 and lambda 2. So we can get lambda 1 is equal to 1 and lambda 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so this is the roots for this particular matrix. Now the next is we have to find the value of f lambda 1 that is equal to lambda 1 raised to 100. Here you can see that in this equation we have to find the value of a raised to 0. So we can get the two lambda 1 and lambda 2. So first of all, the function of lambda 1 is equal to lambda 1 raised to 100 is equal to b0 plus b1 lambda 1. Okay, this equation is from the characteristic equation. We have the value of I matrix and the A matrix, and we can get the value of the two lambda. So we can put this value of lambda in this equation. We can get lambda 1 is equal to 1. So 1 raised to 100, that is equal to b0 plus b1 into lambda, and lambda 1 is equal to 1. So we can get 1, that is equal to b0 plus b1. So we can put the equation like this manner, b0 is equal to 1 minus b1. Clear? Now next we have to put the value of lambda 2 in this equation. So function of lambda 2, that is equal to 2 raised to 100, that is equal to b0 plus b1 lambda 2, and lambda 2 is equal to 2. So put the value of lambda 2 in this above equation, we can get 2 raised to 100, that is equal to b0 plus 2b1. Now using two equation, we have to find the value of b1 and b2. So what we can do in the earlier equation, we can get the equation like this, b0 is equal to 1 minus b1. So put the value of b0 in this equation, we can get here 2 raised to 100, that is equal to b0 plus 2b1. But b0 is equal to 1 minus b1, so the equation will become 2 raised to 100 is equal to 1 minus b1 plus 2b1. Now minus b1 plus 2b1, it's become b1. So 2 raised to 100, that is equal to 1 plus b1. So b1 is equal to 2 raised to 100 minus 1. Now what is the equation of b0? So b0 is equal to 1 minus b1, and b1 is equal to 2 raised to 100 minus 1. So put the value of b1 in this equation, we can get 1 minus 2 raised to 100 minus minus plus plus 1. So b0 is equal to 2 minus 2 raised to 100. Okay, now we have to find the value of a raised to 100. So function of a, that is equal to a raised to 100, that is equal to b0i plus b1a. What is the value of? That's why we have to find the value of b0 and b1 using the roots, and the value of the roots is lambda 1 and lambda 2. So put the value of b0 and b1 in this equation, we can get b0 is equal to 2 minus 2 raised to 100, and the I matrix is 1 0 0 1, plus b1 is equal to 2 raised to 100 minus 1, and our A matrix is 1 2 0 2. In this example, they will given the value of the A matrix. So simplify this equation, we can find the value of A raised to 100. So using the Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we can easily find the value of phi of k. So our first step is, the value of the matrix is given in this example. So our first step is, we have to find the value of lambda using the equation mode of lambda I minus a. Using this equation, we can get the two value of the lambda. Now put the value of lambda one by one of this equation, function of lambda 1, and then we have to find the value of b0 and b1 using the simplification, and after that put the value of b0 and b1 in this function of A equation, we can get the value of phi of k. Now so we can get this type of matrix. Now the next step is, we have to simplify this equation. So it is very easy, we have to just multiply 2 into 2 raised to 100 into the I matrix. So we can get 2 in minus 2 raised to 100 and 0 into this, that is become 0 0, and 2 minus 2 raised to 100 plus 2 raised to 100 minus 1 multiply with the A matrix. So we can simply multiply with the 1 and 2, and then we have to add these two matrix. We can get the final answer of function of A using the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Now this type of question they will ask in the GTU in the 4 or the 7 marks. If they will ask in the 4 marks, you have just put the value of b0, I, b1 and a in this particular function of A equation, and then you have to leave this example. But if they will ask same example in this 7 marks, okay, what is the example? The example is given like this. Value of A matrix is given and we have to find the value of A raised to 100. So for the 7 marks, you have to compulsory solve this matrix using the multiplication and the addition method, and you have to find out the exact value of function of A. So depending upon the marks, you have to calculate this final answer. Okay, so this is all about the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Okay, so using the Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we can easily find the value of function of A. Now in the next session, we will study about the find the value of phi of k using the Z transformation method. In this, they will given the value of G matrix, H matrix, then the C matrix, and then we have to find the value of x of k and y of k. So whenever we find the value of x of k, first of all we have to find the value of x of z, and that's why we have to use the Z transformation method to find out the value of phi of k. Okay, so this is all about the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. In the next session, we will study about another method, that is evolution of state transition matrix using the Z transformation method. Okay, clear? Thank you everyone. If anyone have doubt, then contact me in my email ID. Thank you.